Good morning. My name is Matt Swift, and I'm a law librarian at the Wyoming State Law Library. Today we're going to look at the Wyoming Statutes annotated and learn a bit about them and how to use them. Many of you probably have a current set in your library. For those who don't, they're also available online. Today we'll talk about both the print and electronic versions. Here is some contact information for the Wyoming State Law Library and a little bit about what we do. If you ever have any questions or need help with answering stuff for patrons, feel free to shoot us an email or give us a call. We're always willing to help. So the big question, what are statutes? Here's some general information. Statutes are published every year and supplemented on off years, and they supplement them with pocket parts that are added to the back of the statutes. Statutes include the Wyoming Constitution and the United States Constitution. Both LexisNexis and West publish Wyoming statutes, but only the Lexis version is considered official. Lexis publishes annotated statutes, and what the annotated means is there's additional notes added in to the statute to help explain what the statute is or to show where it's been used, and this just gives the user kind of a better understanding of the statute itself. Those statutes are available in print and electronically, and we'll look at both of those here shortly. Non-annotated statutes are available electronically at the Wyoming Legislative Service Office website, and we'll take a look at that also. And then there's an additional book called the Wyoming Court Rules Annotated that is usually part of the statutes. That is published yearly, and we will look at that briefly also. So for something to become a law, or the statute to become a law, this is the basic process. A bill is introduced in the House, or a file is introduced in the Senate. Then a committee will discuss the bill or the file depending on which chamber it's in. The committee may make changes to the bill. They will vote to pass or not pass the bill. And this will happen 3 times. They'll do 3 readings and 3 votes. If it passes all 3 votes, it will go to the other chamber. So if it was a House bill, then it will go over to the Senate, and the process is repeated there. If both chambers pass it, it is then given to the governor. The governor will then sign it, veto it, or leave it unsigned. If the bill becomes law, it is added to the session laws of Wyoming. Bills that are passed by the legislature and signed by the governor become session laws, and these are organized chronologically in these session laws books. And many of your libraries may have these also. If not, they're available online and on the Legislative Service Office's website. Once they've been passed and they're going to be put into the statutes, they become codified. And codified is how to organize rules or laws into a systematic code. And in the case of the Wyoming statutes, they're organized by subject. And here's the Legislative Service Office's website, and then you can see here the different sessions, and we'll look at the 2013 session, and this is information about that session. And then down here you'll see session laws and journal, and here are the session laws in the PDF format. So these are the session laws. These are the same ones that are in the print version, and let's see if we can scroll down, and you'll see where language is added or removed from existing statutes, like right here. So this is before they become published into the Wyoming statutes. Now, when you locate a statute, if a patron comes in or you're looking for yourself or whatever, if you know the citation, it's really very simple. And the example we're going to use is going to be Title 6, Chapter 3, Section 701. And you would just grab Volume 2 of the statutes, because Volume 2 consists of Titles 5 through 10, then find Chapter 3 and Section 701, and you can see that that is check fraud, and then it gives the definitions of check fraud. So that's the simplest way to look one up if you have the citation. If you don't, and you have to look by subject, you at this point would use the index, and you would grab the separate volume for the index, that is the index, and look up check fraud. And once you find that, you can see definitions, and then it leads you to the same citation, 63701. If you would rather do this electronically, or you're talking a patron through it over the phone, and they're online, you can direct them to the Wyoming State Law Library website, and we have a link to the statutes there. Be one moment while it's coming up. Okay, under Wyoming law, you'll see a link here for statutes. And I mentioned earlier that there was the Legislative Service Office had statutes on their website that did not have the annotations, and we'll take a quick look at that. So here's basically all the different titles, and for our statute 63701, we would come to Crimes and Offenses 6. We see that, and then if you hit this little plus sign here, that'll open it up. We're going to go to Chapter 3, and then Article 7, and here is the statute. And this is without the annotation. We'll see that when we look at the LexisNexis version in a second. The nice thing about using this, though, is if you're helping somebody through email, and they want, statute 63701, you can find this form, and you can cut and paste that link and email it to them directly. You can't do that with the annotated version. We're going to go back to the Wyoming State Law Library website. And the statutes again. And this time we're going to look at Wyoming Statutes Annotated. And it directs us over to LexisNexis Legal Resources. We'll go down to the bottom to Wyoming Statutes Annotated. We have to agree to their terms and conditions. And this search is basically just like the one at the Legislative Service Office. We will go to Title 6 and open that up, and then 3, and then Article 7, once again check fraud, and then our definition 701. And here's that same statute that we just looked at the Legislative Service Office, and this is what's in the print version also. This has the addition of a history, and we'll talk more about the history next week in the second part of the Wyoming Statutes presentation. This also includes notes and annotations that I discussed earlier. Here's cases that it was used in, and here's a law review article, and these all, like I said, once again help you understand better the statute itself. Now, if you didn't know the citation and you needed to search, you can use the search box up here, and we'll just type in check fraud, and we're going to do tables of contents only, and we'll search, and here we see Title 6, Crimes and Offenses, Chapter 3, and then Article 7. and back down to definitions. And there's our statute again. The last little thing we're going to talk about is the Wyoming Court Rules, and this is published yearly, and it is the procedures and rules used by the Wyoming State Courts. They are searchable by the table of contents in the index in the print version. The rules are also available electronically on the Wyoming State Law Library website. It should be noted that, like the statutes, the LexisNexis Wyoming Court Rules Annotated are the official version. And the Wyoming Court Rules can be found here. Once again, under Find Wyoming Law, we'll click on Court Rules and say somebody is interested in Wyoming Rules of Civil Procedure for Circuit Courts. Here is a link to that. And then here are all the rules, and they open up just like the other statutes do. So this is one place other than the print version that Wyoming Court Rules are available. I'd like to thank the Wyoming State Law Library and Jamie Marcus for helping out with this, and if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to take them. Thank you.